Eleven didn't die at that gate. The Duffer Brothers pulled off the greatest illusion in Stranger Things history, and most fans completely missed it. Mike's final story wasn't grief, it wasn't fantasy, it was the truth hidden in plain sight. And I'm about to prove it to you guys watching right now. So Eleven has always been treated like the obvious answer to one big question, which is, did she really sacrifice herself to destroy the Upside Down? For a long time, it was easy to believe she stood at that gate, the bomb went off, and she was gone forever. The finale adds key facts that change how that moment needs to be understood. It lays out direct visual evidence. It explains what Callie's powers can actually do. And it makes it clear that the Eleven we saw at the gate was not the only version of her in that moment. The biggest change comes from what Mike himself reveals 18 months later. After all the kids graduate, after Hawkins has rebuilt, after everyone has accepted that Eleven is dead, Mike tells a story about their mage. He says that in her final moments, Callie used her illusion powers to create a fake version of Eleven at the gate, allowing the real Eleven to escape undetected. The first thing we need to understand is what Callie can actually do, and why her powers make Mike's theory the most logical explanation for what happened. Back in Season 2, Callie showed us her abilities in detail. She made entire buildings appear to collapse when they didn't. She created a fake version of Dr. Brenner so convincing that even Eleven believed it was real. Her illusions aren't simple tricks, they're perception-altering reality warps that can fool trained soldiers, scientists, and even other powered children. Callie doesn't need to be near someone to make them see something. She can project from a distance, and the illusion holds as long as she maintains focus. Now here's where it gets crucial. In episode 8, when Akers shoots Callie, the show never confirms she dies instantly. We see her fall, we see blood, but we've seen Callie fake deaths before using her own powers. The vagueness here is intentional misdirection. And if you watch the gate collapse sequence closely, there's a smoking gun hidden in plain sight. The Eleven standing at the threshold does a subtle finger twitch. It's quick, it's easy to miss, but it's Callie's signature move when she's maintaining a large-scale illusion. The real Eleven has never done that gesture, not once in 5 seasons. It's Callie's tell, and the show put it right there for anyone paying close enough attention. But there's something even bigger that confirms this theory, and it comes from the rules the show itself established: the Hedgehog devices. Throughout the finale, the military uses these sonic suppressors to shut down all psychic powers. When these devices are active, powered individuals are either completely neutralized or writhing in agony. Eleven has been affected by these devices multiple times. We've seen her powers cut off entirely when the military deploys them. So here's the problem that breaks everything if you believe the real Eleven was at that gate. At the Max Z gate, the military has Hedgehog units running. They're active, they're everywhere. Lieutenant Akers and his soldiers are there specifically to capture Eleven, and they've deployed every suppression tool they have. Yet Eleven stands there at the gate, calm, seemingly using her powers. If the real Eleven was there, she would be powerless. The Hedgehog devices would have shut her down completely. But here's where it gets even more impossible. Right before the bomb goes off, Mike gets pulled into Eleven's mindscape for their final goodbye. She reaches out telepathically, brings him into that mental space, and they share an emotional farewell with flashbacks to their entire relationship. Wait, stop. Think about that for a second. If the real Eleven was standing at that gate, surrounded by active Hedgehog devices that suppress all psychic abilities, how could she possibly use her telepathy to enter Mike's mind? She couldn't. It's literally impossible based on the rules the show established. Every time those devices are active, Eleven's powers are blocked completely. But Mike's goodbye scene requires her to use advanced telepathy, to project herself into his consciousness, to create an entire mindscape experience while supposedly standing in the middle of a military suppression field. That scene only makes sense if the 11 at the gate wasn't real. If it was Callie's illusion standing there, then the real 11 was somewhere else, somewhere far enough away from the hedgehog devices that she could still use her powers, somewhere hidden in the chaos where she could reach out to Mike one last time before disappearing forever. An illusion wouldn't be affected by the suppressors at all. It's not a real person using real powers, it's a projection. The hedgehog devices can suppress actual psychic abilities, but they can't suppress something that isn't really there. Mike's theory isn't fanfiction, it's the only explanation that follows the rules Stranger Things established. Now let's talk about why this makes perfect sense for the story Stranger Things has been telling from the beginning. 11's arc has never been about dying for others, it's been about breaking free from Brenner's lab, from being a weapon, from the endless cycle of people using her powers for their own purposes. The Duffer Brothers said in interviews that 11 needed to go away, not die, go away. That phrasing matters. She couldn't stay in Hawkins. Any contact with Mike, with Hopper, with the party would restart the government's hunt immediately. Dr. K's entire operation was built on creating more superpowered children. But 11 alive and vanished, so thoroughly hidden that even her loved ones believe she's dead? That's freedom. That's the normal life she never got to have. And here's what makes this ending so perfectly painful. Hopper's conversation with Mike at the memorial. He doesn't say 11 died. He says she made her choice. The show ends with Mike choosing to believe she's alive. That's not denial, that's faith. And Stranger Things has always rewarded faith. Think about the pattern. Not a single main party member dies permanently in this series. To break that pattern for 11 would be a shock value. So, what do you think? The evidence is there. 11's finger twitch, the hedgehog devices making it impossible for 11 to use her powers at the gate or enter Mike's mind. The thematic arc. The Duffer Brothers gave us the choice to see it or not. And I choose to believe. Somewhere in a world without monsters, without labs, without governments hunting her, there's a girl standing in front of a waterfall, finally free. 11 isn't gone, she's just somewhere we can't follow. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if this changed how you see the finale, share it with every Stranger Things fan who needs this hope.